Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Hard Cut Podcast, where we enjoy filmmaking, viewing, and discussing. I'm Tyler Edward, and one day Alex won't be here on this podcast, but he's here again, so we're just gonna roll with it. Today we didn't really know what to do today, but then Alex came up with the idea of doing some hot takes in Hollywood and in cinema, which is really fun because I went on a Letterboxd posted a subreddit. I think it was from a long time ago, and they just said, give us your craziest movie hot takes. And so I went through the list, and we got a pile up of them to talk through today. But first, I want to go over what has been happening in general in TV, in movies, because interestingly enough, like, while April doesn't have much for movies, I feel like there's still a decent amount going on, especially in shows. Let's start there.
Yeah.
We have White Lotus, Severance, The Studio, Daredevil, Last of Us is coming out. People are going crazy about these. Like, this is much more prevalent than movies at the moment, I think. We've been watching White Lotus together, and it's getting crazy. And the second to last episode comes out tomorrow from when we're filming this. Hopefully we watch it tomorrow because I'm so curious to see how this progresses.
Yeah.
You haven't watched Severance at all, have you?
I don't know because I don't have Apple TV.
Oh,
Plus,
yeah.
But
See,
I want to watch it.
I think I might just end up getting Apple TV because I want to watch The Studio and Severance. Like, I need to watch The Studio, or I don't think my brain will be able to continue functioning.
Yeah. And I mean, apparently they have everything is like pretty good.
Yeah.
It's just they don't have much quantity. So I don't know if it's worth it. But I've had like the free year and stuff like that. So I've watched The Morning Show. I've watched Defending Jacob.
Oh, I didn't even watch that.
And I've watched a couple of other things which are really good. Never watched Ted Lasso, and everybody says that it's awesome. It gets awards every year. But maybe with Severance and Studio, maybe we might have to.
Now's a good time to at least buy a couple months of it, maybe, and then cancel. I'm excited for The Last of Us season 2. I honestly wish I had played the video game, or I wish maybe I still will play the video game at some point because that seems pretty up my alley. But I feel like they do a lot of references to it and a lot of stuff that I miss because I never played the video game or anything. But I mean, yeah, season 1 was great. I'm excited for season 2.
Yeah, it was really, really good.
I'll let you take this one. You can talk about the Marvel announcement that just came out because you're the Marvel guy of the two of us. I need to catch up. Let me preface that by saying the last one I watched was No Way Home. He's already seen it, but I'm watching WandaVision, and now I have to go through all of the movies that I missed to catch up to where we're at, which is like 10 movies and multiple shows. So hopefully I'll get there before Doomsday. But Avengers Doomsday.
Avenger Doomsday. It was crazy when in Comic-Con they announced that RDJ was going to be Doctor Doom. Nobody was expecting it, and they also announced that the Russo brothers were going to take over, which was like, it was like really, really good news because people got really excited, but at the same time, and I'm one of them, that I'm a little bit worried that it was just a desperate move from Marvel. What do we do to save this?
Yeah, seemed a little out there for me, just because. I mean, I don't know. Just reusing the actor, but a different character.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
I am a big fan of if you kill a character, just
leave him.
Leave him. Like Scarlett Johansson just got asked, "Are you gonna come back?" And she said, "I am dead. Leave me alone."
That's funny.
So like I am a really big fan of them doing that because if you keep bringing back and back,
yeah, that's gotta be
it
annoying.
Just like loses the like magic of like us feeling a death in a movie.
Yeah. And now like the other actors being asked that solely because Robert Downey Jr. is coming back. Like now everyone's probably gonna be like, Chris Hemsworth or Chris Evans, are you coming back? Are you coming? And it's like that's not how it should be. And they're probably gonna get bombarded with those kinds of questions now.
Yeah.
But
a couple of days ago, well, they had been for like a week or two. They had been saying that there's like big news coming and stuff like that. the like biggest nerds, we all knew that production was gonna start very,
Mm-hmm.
very, very soon. I'm pretty sure they are in London for a part of it. Um, so yeah, they just started, and the way they announced that they just started production was by announcing the cast
A
with
6 hour
a
live stream.
6 hour live stream that I may or may not have watched. Uh, um, and every 15-ish minutes, they like added a chair
I
with
saw they
a
paired
name.
music with the
Yes. So
characters
like it
too,
was
right?
they put on like a chair with the name of the character, and then after like I'd say 12, 13 minutes, they started playing like some music
Mm-hmm.
that was related, or it's usually like the theme song of
Mm-hmm.
like the character that they were announcing next. So like for example, when it was Ant-Man, it was like super easy because you can recognize it, or like when it was
And also the chair was small.
yeah, the chair was small. That's funny. But like there's some characters that were like super obvious when they were like when you hear their like theme, it's like okay, they're
Mm-hmm.
announcing this. But there's a lot of characters that don't have one specifically, or they played a theme song from like the X-Men in general, and you didn't really know who was coming. Um, so yeah, they announced. I don't know if it was like 30
Mm-hmm.
something
But
names.
it was a lot.
Um, and then at the
Gosh, the
end,
budget of
it's
this movie
yeah.
has got to be insane.
At the end is Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, and then the last one is RDJ, which kind of makes it seem like they're gonna be like the two main
Yep.
characters in that
Yep.
film.
Which is kind of
But
cool that they're. I mean, they always do phases, like but I feel like for the longest time, the main cast had like they've had a very specific main group, like the Avengers that
yeah,
has been it for so long. It's very interesting that this is the first Avengers that will be a new set of Avengers.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
really
yeah. That is
interesting.
really interesting because like you're seeing, it's gonna be very weird because you're seeing the Thunderbolts in there, which a lot of people are mad because they basically just announced every Thunderbolt is gonna come back, so no one dies.
Oh,
In the
oh,
next Thunderbolt
interesting.
movie. Like
I
they didn't
see.
announce
Yeah.
Taskmaster, but everybody assumes that she dies because
Okay.
she's in like one scene in the trailer and
Interesting.
she's in nothing else.
Yeah.
Um, but they literally announced every character from
Mm-hmm.
Thunderbolts is coming back in Doomsday. So like some people are mad that it's spoiled.
Yeah.
Um, but you see Thunderbolts, you see Fantastic Four, you see X-Men, and you see the like Avengers all in one movie, so that's gonna be super interesting. Um, but yeah,
No Spider-Man?
this is my next thing.
I,
They're not done.
I was gonna say
They're
I
not done
am like
announcing, and
positive.
this is official. Like RDJ, when he posted like stuff for like this announcement,
Yeah.
he said something like at the caption, he said something like, this is it, really, or something like that. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's it, right? Like this is already a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and Marvel Studios commented like we're never done, or like or
Yeah.
are we done, or something
They're
like that.
definitely like
So
keeping certain
because
characters secret so
yeah,
that when they're in the movie
yeah.
it's like a big
So
deal.
technically, Benedict Cumberbatch has already been like officially announced that he's
Oh, okay.
coming back, but he wasn't in that list. So everybody knows that there's still like not only the ones that are going to be a surprise, everybody thinks that there's still like another some kind of
Mm-hmm.
announcement before that. Because like a Spider-Man, I just don't really know where they're going to like put him in, but like
Yeah, I'm
Doctor Strange
so
should be like a
yeah.
big part in this
I'm really
movie.
curious as to how
So,
Spider-Man's MCU story progresses
yeah.
because
So
we're
we'll
left on an
see.
interesting
We'll
note.
see. It was very exciting. There's like, and this kind of ties a little bit with like our topic with hot takes and stuff. There's a lot of people that are like, just leave the X-Men, like not the X-Men, like the previous actors that played
Oh,
all the
yeah.
X-Men, leave them alone.
Yep.
Let's move on, and if you want to do X-Men, let's start over. But like bringing characters from other franchises is really really hard to tie in.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how they're gonna do it, but yeah, some people are just like, just leave them alone, and then some people love those
Yeah, it's
things.
always mixed with those.
So
But
yeah,
yeah,
we'll
that'll be
see.
fun. That's huge. The Odyssey has been in production lately. That's been
Mm-hmm.
really cool to see. I've seen plenty of set photos, which I don't know. Maybe I should stay away from those because those could give spoilers away to an extent. Have you seen Zendaya's in the set
I
photos now?
yes
This is
yes
the first couple of pictures we've seen where Zendaya is in them and they're on the beach. She's wearing like a white dress. Matt Damon kind of got jacked up for
Yeah.
this role.
Yeah.
He beefed up. He has a giant, big ass, bushy beard. I'm really excited for this one. Like, there's some hot takes later in this about Nolan,
Mm-hmm.
and I honestly can say like I do love Nolan as a filmmaker, but I'm not like his biggest fan. Like a lot of people are so like Oppenheimer was the greatest thing, blah blah, this that. I'm not quite on the Nolan bandwagon. I think The Prestige was maybe my favorite, but a piece like this, I'm really excited for. Like I would say this is the
Yeah.
first Nolan that I'm super super excited
Mm-hmm.
for. And I assume it'll be an insane theater
Yeah,
experience.
it'll
Like the
be.
scale of it is just already massive, and the fact that he's shooting a
Yeah,
lot of it practically is just really impressive.
I'm
So,
imagining it like the the audience vibe or like the
hmm,
experience to be similar to Dune when Dune
yes,
1
yep,
came out.
that's kind of what I'm thinking too.
So I'm really excited. But yeah, I don't really care about set photos in that sense. I only care
Hmm,
about set photos in Marvel. Those are the only ones that I
yeah,
actually think I can get spoiled.
yep,
Everything else, it's just like, because with Marvel, it's really easy. Like you can get spoiled, like characters or like suits and all that.
hmm,
But movies like this one, yes, there's gonna be spoilers in set photos, but there's like zero context.
exactly, yep,
So I'm fine with that. But yeah,
yeah.
it got me really excited.
This one
So
will be cool. I'm pretty pumped for this one. CinemaCon.
yes, CinemaCon. As we're filming it in 2 days, CinemaCon starts.
So
So it's coming out
announcements coming
tomorrow.
up probably from
Okay.
CinemaCon. This
So
will be
yeah,
out tomorrow. Yeah.
be be aware of a lot of trailers coming out. Every like
Oh,
big production
hopefully
company.
Wicked for
Yes,
good.
yes, because
Hopefully.
Universal is gonna be there. They already have like stuff around CinemaCon, and a lot of people have already seen like a Wicked
Yeah.
for Good first poster. So I'm guessing that if
Yeah.
they bring the
The
posters
first
to
poster.
CinemaCon, there's no way they don't release a trailer,
Yeah.
especially because like they released the previous
And
one
again, yeah, we only
9
have
months before.
7 months
Yeah, at least the teaser.
to
I'm
teaser.
not
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
talking about trailer,
Yeah.
but at least some kind of teaser.
Oh,
But
I am
yeah,
excited,
yeah,
dude.
we
I'm
start
excited
with
for that.
Sony, and then there's Universal, there's Lionsgate, there's Paramount,
Hmm.
um, DreamWorks, and it ends with Disney. There
Hmm.
might be a couple more in there, a MGM or a something Amazon Studios too.
Hmm.
So yeah, it'll be very exciting.
And then lastly, just also new as of lately, Snow. I wrote down Snow White and the Minecraft movie because those are kind of the big ones that
Yeah.
are. Well, Minecraft movie's still coming up. Snow White is out. I'd say the only other like bigger scale one is Warfare.
Mm-hmm.
Like in all honesty, April is pretty. Oh, Sinners. I'm
Mm-hmm.
excited for Sinners, but I think April is kind of dead in regards to
Yeah.
movies coming out.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I looked at Letterboxd always posts what movies are you looking most forward to, or there's a bunch of things that do that, and there's not there's not much happening or not much coming out, but Snow
So
White is big right
yeah.
now.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's
Mainly
getting
because it's everybody just wants to be part of the conversation.
yeah,
I do think we still have to watch it. We're going soon,
yeah.
but I do think that people are boycotting it way too much.
I was gonna say
Uh,
it's getting a little too much hate.
yeah,
I
people just want to be
understand
part of it.
I understand the realm of hate that people are like coming from with it, but it is excessive and
I think it's a little bit like Madame Web. I'm not defending Madame Web. I like
but it's the
it was
vibe
a
of
bad
that.
movie,
Yep.
obviously, but I think people just wanted to jump on the hate,
Hmm. For
and
this to
everybody
be
just kept saying the worst things about it, and like it's the worst
yeah.
movie in the world, and apparently it's IMDb's worst
That's what
movie
I was gonna
ever.
say, which is
It's
that's
not.
lighten up a bit. For it to be the worst movie on again, we haven't seen it, but there are worse. There have got to be worse movies in the world, literally in the entirety of the world, than this movie.
Yes.
So I don't know. I mean, we'll see it. We'll probably talk about it, but
Yeah.
I I'm gonna go in with a bit more of an open mind because
I will too.
I don't want to hate this movie. If it sucks, it
Me
sucks. If
neither.
I hate it, I hate it. But I don't know. I'm not super
And
opposed to it.
I still don't like. I kind of get it, but I please get over the hate on Rachel Zegler. She's
Yeah.
not such a terrible human being as
Yeah.
people are
Yeah, they're making her
saying
up
it.
to be this just awful person. I'm like, some of the things she says are totally valid. And like even in her, I won't go, I won't dig into it a ton because we'll probably talk about this on the podcast. But even like when she's talking about how the old one is outdated, like
Yeah.
people are getting so mad about that. But like, I don't know why you would get mad about that if it's kind of true.
It is.
It's not a bad thing for something to be outdated. There's nothing wrong with that. She's
Exactly.
just saying that it is.
She like it's a little bit like the extremes. Yes, it's a 1930s
Yeah.
movie. Obviously, there's so many things that have changed almost 100 years
Mm-hmm.
later. Um, but at the same time, a lot of people like I can see a little bit of the hate on like she doesn't need to be saved by the prince and like there's
Mm-hmm.
like super like girl power that like it's important in films, but like a lot of people are kind of like tired of it, or not
Mm-hmm.
maybe tired of it, but like maybe it doesn't fit this story as much as
Yeah.
it should fit other stories. It's really not that deep.
Well, and then
They went like they tried to update the movie a little bit because if you do watch the original, it's
mm-hmm.
1930s
Yeah.
like, and
And
it I don't know.
the other thing to bring up, I said I wasn't gonna get deep into it, but now I'm just thinking about it. The other thing, like to bring up with that, is everyone wants original movies. Everyone is like, stop remaking movies, stop doing
Exactly.
this and that.
Stop doing shot by shot.
But when a movie is remade in a new light, why is everyone fucking pissed about it?
Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh, this sucks. They tried to do this with it. And I'm like, well, do you want new movies or do you want the exact same movie? Because
Yeah.
if you say you want new movies and then you hate on a movie for trying to update itself and be new, like, come on.
Yeah.
That's
And
just
then
dumb.
you want new movies, but and I mean this is kind of like stuff that's happening. New trailer came out for Elio, new Pixar movie, completely original.
Mm-hmm.
No one's talking about it because no one cares
Mm-hmm.
actually. And everybody wants new
Mm-hmm.
movies, but no one cares. This I guess is my first hot take. Everybody wants original movies, but no one really cares about original movies,
Right.
especially the people that are saying constantly, I want new
Oh,
movies. It's all remakes. It's all remakes. You're going to watch all those remakes, and I bet you haven't even heard of
yeah.
Elio.
I was gonna say that was something I should have added to this list is like movies like I haven't seen them yet. I want to watch Black Bag, but Black Bag and Novocaine and I think there was one other like new original movie that came out last week. Was it Death of a Unicorn? Am I thinking about that? No,
Maybe.
because Death of a Unicorn came out yesterday. Either way, in the last like 2-ish weeks, those movies came out and there was I don't remember, I can't cite my source exactly, but there was some thing I saw that was talking about how it was one of the lowest box office weekends that
Mm-hmm.
movie like the theaters have had in a long time. It's like 3 or 4 original movies being released. But now that Snow White is out, the box office is back to like getting more money and stuff. And so I don't understand why people are complaining about give us more original movies and then they don't pay money to go fucking see them, but
Exactly.
they pour their money into movies that are being remade and then get pissed about it when it's not an exact shot for shot remake. I
So
don't get
basically,
it.
you want to get pissed because you're
Yeah,
only going to go watch those
exactly.
remakes that are not great. Okay, you have a sad life.
You do. Okay. Wow, that took a turn. I didn't we got deep into that. But that's okay.
It's
We got
okay.
hot takes to talk about.
It's okay.
And this was a
We kind of
good
like
way to amp
started
it
with
up.
hot takes.
Good way to
So
amp it up. All right. Yeah, that's what's going on in cinema lately. But now we have to go into some hot takes. I have a lot and I so doubt we're going to get through all these knowing how we
oh, that
took
we're gonna
something
spend like
took
20
an
minutes
intro
on
that
one.
should have been 5 minutes into 20, but that's okay.
Okay.
I'll just start with this one. I might just go in order, but I'll start with this one especially cuz we literally just talked about The Odyssey.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's a hot take. No, and these are completely anonymous. I just screenshotted. But I didn't look at who the users were, so I don't know who's saying these things, but people are. Nolan peaked early. He's been on a monthly downward trend since The Prestige. He is a slave to entering his movies around some high concept gimmick and using it to say absolutely nothing. I think
You agree.
I think I like somewhat agree. I don't think
I need a reminder. I'm checking my letterbox.
I don't think I agree to this extent, But I mean, this person does have my same opinion on The Prestige being well, since The Prestige. I don't know if this person is saying The Prestige was good, but everything following
Mm-hmm.
was bad,
Yeah.
or if he's saying this The Prestige. I don't know. I do not wholeheartedly agree with this, but I do think there is some element of truth to that because I think movies. I haven't seen Memento, but I know I would.
I
I
know.
know I
Yeah.
would love Memento.
Yeah.
Uh, but I do think there is this concept of like Memento, Interstellar, The Prestige, Inception. These are good. This is great to look at. Tenet, all of those movies that are like he's got a goal to play with your mind a little bit, and it sometimes feels like that is the only attraction to the movie. Uh, but he also does have just great production in general. So while I do agree that he has a gimmick that he kind of likes to use over and over and over, he still emphasizes it and he still supports it by making a generally in all of his movies excellent production. Score, cinematography, direction, actors. He uses big budget actors. I mean, so yes and no. I think is some truth to this. I
But
like
do
I
you
said,
agree or disagree?
I don't know if I can give it. I can't give a
I
solid.
don't know. I can either. But
I think there's an element of truth to this, but I don't fully agree. I mean, I don't know if I can give you better than that because, I mean, you know.
yeah, no, honestly, same. I'm looking at the filmography now,
Hmm.
and I can't think of a movie that I didn't enjoy.
Yeah,
Tenet
that's what I was gonna say. I haven't
might be
seen
my
Tenet,
weakest
but
one.
I don't know that I was a huge fan of Batman Begins. The Dark Knight was good. I like honestly, maybe this is a hot take in itself, but Christian Bale is a phenomenal actor, but I wasn't incredibly convinced by him as Batman.
Hmm.
And I don't know if that's like a really hot take, but I think we've had better
Mm-hmm.
people play Batman, and I don't think Christian Bale
Well,
was
I
super
mean,
up
it
there
is.
as Batman for me. So maybe that.
I don't know if it's like a huge hot take because, like, if you look at Dark Knight's poster,
Hmm.
Batman's not in it.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just
Heath Ledger,
yeah.
which is like
He's
the
the like
pull to
he's
that
the
movie. He's
only or the main thing that people remember about that trilogy.
yeah,
He's like what made it
yeah,
incredible,
exactly.
and so I completely agree with you.
Okay,
I like Christian Bale.
yeah,
He might not have been the best
yeah. I also just can't take
Batman
the voice seriously
or
sometimes. Like
yeah.
there's certain Batman that do it like and do it dramatically, but I'm even just thinking of like our Pat. Like he doesn't. How do I put this? His voice is his voice in the movie. Like he talks the same throughout, but when Christian Bale is Bruce Wayne, he talks one way, and when he's Batman, he talks in and I'm like that switch for
Yeah.
me just makes it feel too comic and like
Mm-hmm.
cheesy. I don't know.
But yeah, in general, again, I haven't seen Memento, and a couple of the older ones, but
I also want to watch
mm,
Memento for Guy Pearce. He was the
yeah,
guy in
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
Brutalist. Yep.
But Interstellar is in my four favorites. Like I will
Interstellar.
always love that
Yeah,
movie.
Interstellar's awesome.
Oppenheimer was just awesome and really enjoyable. You can say whatever you want. A lot of people like were like it's too long and all that. I just okay, whatever. But I really enjoyed it.
Hmm.
I also watched it with someone that knows a lot about it
Mm.
already. Carlos. Oh,
Hmm.
sorry. Um and it was fun like seeing his perspective on it and then like later on having conversations
Yeah.
about it was super interesting. Um and yeah, in general, all his movies that I've seen, I've enjoyed. Tenet was the one that took me off a little
Yeah.
bit because it was like, to me, way too confusing. Like
Yeah,
what
and
you were saying of like
that's what I've
he really
heard.
wants to get like confuse you, but on this one, like he got he went full for it, and I just
Yeah.
I
Well, and
got
that's what
lost.
I like because the thing is in recent years with Oppenheimer and now he's doing the Odyssey. I don't know. I mean, Oppenheimer was still a bit mind bending, but I think he's starting. Well, and I mean, even in the Batman movies, he's starting to lean away from that like concept of just like doing the mind bending
Mm-hmm.
gimmick. Like I think he's slowly pushing away from that and basing his stuff a bit more in realism to an extent.
Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. He's got variety though.
Yeah, because one was Inception,
2010,
2010, and then Dunkirk was 17,
which is yeah,
and Oppenheimer 23.
yeah. So he's kind of.
And then now he's gonna do Odyssey. Yeah, I can see that. What
But yeah,
else?
I don't know that this is too hot of a hot take. It's a hot take, but it's not. It's not a flaming
I would
take.
say if I had to choose, I disagree.
Okay.
But there's truth
Yeah.
in there.
Yep. I would be pretty much on the same. Okay. Let's chuck ourselves back into Marvel for a second.
Oh,
This is just the most absurd random hot take I found that I just thought was funny, so I wanted to screenshot it.
okay.
Maybe I don't know, maybe you agree. Doctor Strange was a better movie than Iron Man.
Doctor Strange 1 and Iron Man 1.
Yes. According to this. Oh wow, I thought this was an immediate no or disagree, but you're thinking about it.
Okay.
I don't really, to be
So
fair,
here
I don't really remember Doctor Strange that well, but I do like the first Iron Man. It's fun.
I agree.
Dormammu. that's all I think of when I think of Doctor Strange.
I agree.
You agree with this?
I agree with it.
Oh wow. Okay.
Because,
That's interesting.
well, to be fair, Spider-Man has always been my favorite superhero, but after watching like all the Marvel movies, Doctor Strange comes in second.
I had no idea.
So yeah,
That's
he's my
interesting.
second favorite one. Love the actor, love
Benedict
the character,
Cumberbatch.
love the
Amazing.
design, love his powers, love everything about him. But what really, really interested me in that movie is not even like the whole like magic part of it. His backstory is just so good. And I'm sorry, kill me. Maybe this is a hot take. Well, I guess it is. I don't think Iron Man's backstory is that interesting. Yes, he's like a rich guy that like has like a like how do I say this? He sells guns and he sells like all these like bombs and all these like crazy things. So he's like a terrible businessman, but then becomes like makes something good out of it because he's trapped in a cave. If he wasn't trapped in a cave, maybe
with a box of scraps.
But like if he had never been stuck in a cave, he wouldn't have never like turned like good. But again, maybe Doctor Strange is the same thing. Maybe if Doctor Strange never had the accident, he wouldn't have never become a better person. But I do think that it's a lot more interesting the fact that like his hands are like his life. Like he needs his hands to make all this money that he's making to save all these lives. And yes, he's cocky and like he's rude and all that, but at the end of the day, he's actually saving lives, and he's one of the best in it. And just like he's acting, at least for me, and his frustration in the whole process of like accepting, okay, I'm done with it. I just can't, and like trying to find a way to actually fix it. I think is a lot more interesting, and I mean at the same time, it's like years later. Production design or like Marvel was had a lot more money and all that. So I don't know. I'm just saying random thoughts, but I do think Doctor Strange could be better.
Interesting. Correct me if I'm wrong. Iron Man was the second MCU movie because isn't it like technically the first? But there's
it's
the Hulk.
First MCU,
but the
second,
Hulk came before, so it's so gray area. But I honestly I can't really remember Doctor Strange all that well. I think I've seen Iron Man twice. I think I've only seen Doctor Strange once. And just based on memory, I think I liked Iron Man better. I remember being obsessed with the fact that Doctor Strange had a Lamborghini at the beginning. I think it was a Lamborghini, right? When he's like driving all around. That was like my only takeaway. As a kid, I was like obsessed with like cars and random dumb stuff, and I was like, "Ooh, Lamborghini." And I don't know. That was my takeaway. And then he fucking crashed it, and I was like, "Are you kidding me, idiot? You know how much that's worth?"
Yeah,
but
I don't know. I think I'm just basing my thoughts on story. And
that's fair.
How the character, they have similar character arcs.
They do.
But just how they happen in different ways. I would lean more towards Doctor Strange. And yeah, I've never been a big Iron Man
Mm.
like character
Yeah.
guy.
Yep.
Um, I'm Team Captain America.
I think I am too. Okay, so you disagree or you
I
agree,
agree.
and
I
I'll just say
agree.
I disagree, but I don't have any strong
Okay,
opinions.
give me one where we're gonna fight.
Well, we're not gonna fight on
Oh,
this one.
okay. That's okay.
Do you want me to try and? Okay, I can find the first one that we'll fight
Okay,
about,
let's find that.
and then I'll go, and then
And
I'll
then go
backtrack.
back.
Poor Things is vastly overpraised.
Over what?
Overpraised,
Oh,
like too much praise and too much.
and you disagree?
I disagree.
I
I know you
completely
agree.
agree. I completely agree with
Oh,
this.
see the big thing that always comes out with this movie is why are we watching Emma Stone have excessive sex on
I
screen?
didn't
That's
even
all it is.
that okay. I
That's
that's
that's the big thing.
I
I don't know
yes.
if you're on
I,
that
it's not
line, but
my big thing.
that's what everyone says, and I just that frustrates me a little bit because I don't like. I guess it's people's takeaway. That's not my takeaway. At the same time, I think there is a reason to have that sex in the movie. Maybe it gets excessive. That's part of her development, though. That's
Okay.
part of Bella Baxter's development as like the the concept is brilliant, and I know it comes from a story like a book, but without without her being introduced to that world, without her technically like becoming a prostitute and selling herself and having sex, like she would not experience the world the way she did in this movie, which and she has to experience it as this like it's supposed to be this grand beautiful thing, and it kind of isn't. And I think that part of the world that she gets to into with filled with sex and just weird gross dirty stuff is part of it, like part of like her being sheltered and then being introduced to that is so important for her character. So that's the big thing I always hear about it. I love this movie. It was on my top 4 for a while, and honestly it probably should be. I've seen it 2 or 3 times, and it was one of the coolest. I have like a couple movies that are like best theater experience for me, and honestly that one's on the list. Like I fall in love with that world, and anything that Yorgos makes I'm kind of sold on from the beginning, but that one specific, and it's his most mainstream film, I think. Poor Things is his most mainstream.
Okay. Sure.
What would you say is?
I'm gonna double check.
Because on like he has Dogtooth, he has um the Lobster, the
The
favorite. The
favorite
favorite could
is
maybe be more
more
stream,
mainstream
but I
than
don't
Poor
I still
Things.
I think Poor Things is more mainstream. Killing of a Sacred Deer was a banger, dude.
Oh yeah.
So was Kinds of Kindness.
Mm-hmm.
All of the I just love these films. And his next one, Begonia, so excited for that one. But yeah, I don't know. I really love Poor Things. The characters are amazing, the acting's amazing, the world is amazing. What's your take?
My
Why
take,
do you
I think no,
disagree?
because I think you think I hate this movie. Like it's
I
a
don't think
really
you
good. I
hate
don't
it.
know what did I
I know
give
you
it?
don't like it.
I gave it 3.5 stars.
Okay.
I like the movie. I think it's maybe I didn't like the movie. I think it's a great movie, great production, great acting. Like it's good. It's a good movie, and it's objectively good. Um, I was extremely bored,
Oh, okay.
and a lot of times I know this is a in some ways a Yorgos thing, but like I think it and some at some point it was like weird just to be weird, if that makes sense.
hmm
And my third thing, what was my third thing? Um, ah, I don't remember what my third thing was, but like I don't know. It's just like oh yeah, and although the story's super interesting, I think the
hmm
concept is brilliant, and I was really into it. When like they introduce you the concept, I think the movie distracts you so much from the
Oh,
actual
interesting.
story with everything else that's going
Okay.
on and all these like super bright and like the costumes and like the exaggerated
Mhm.
acting from some characters, and I don't know, these like it's making you try to look everywhere like,
I
oh that's
can
cool,
see
oh
that,
that's cool,
yeah.
oh that's cool, that's cool. That what I really liked about the movie to me got lost.
Okay.
So I really like the concept, but it was so distracting that I
Okay.
was like, oh, okay.
I think it comes down to the difference for us. I think it might boil down to visual style a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Uh and I've noticed that for myself. I like a director or a filmmaker or whatever who has a extremely specific visual style. I
Yes.
love Robert Eggers. You it is undeniable when you see a Robert Eggers film. Like if you see a frame from movie, you can point out and you go, "That's Robert Eggers." Wes Anderson. I'm not even like the biggest fan of Wes Anderson, but I so admire the fact that it's the exact same thing. He is probably the biggest example of
Yeah.
you look at a single frame and there is absolutely no doubt in your mind that it's a Wes Anderson film. Same with Yorgos, and I think that's where maybe we differ because his visual style is weird as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's weird. He uses all these warped lenses, and he uses those closed in fisheyes, um, and the production design and the way it's built is much more imaginative than real.
Yeah.
Like it's not based in like complete reality. It's supposed to look
Mm-hmm.
kind of fantastical.
No, I know. Like
But yeah, no, I'm not sorry. I'm not trying to disagree with you. That's a very good point that it gets distracting from the story.
it's
I just never thought of it that way.
like, yeah, I don't know. It just the first thing that comes to mind when people say like that they don't like this movie is like the sex and all
Mm-hmm.
that. I didn't even care about that. And I've watched 4 of his movies,
Mm-hmm.
loved the other 3.
Yeah,
Like really, really liked them.
the favorite is
I
really really
just
good.
didn't connect
Mm-hmm.
with Poor Things because when I was about to connect with like some bits of storylines, it was like this big thing that I was like, okay. And I was like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
thank you. Awesome. Great lens choice. Okay.
Great lunch choice. Move on, bro.
Please. So that is my take if it makes sense.
Yeah, no, that does.
So what did it agree,
So
right?
I think
Yeah,
you
I
agree,
agree.
and I disagree.
Not for the reasons that
Yeah, exactly.
maybe they say.
Okay, so we didn't really fight. I don't know. Again, I don't think we're gonna fight on any of these. I think
I
a
don't want
lot
to
of
fight
these
you.
takes are
It's
ones
okay.
we
We
agree
can both
on.
agree or disagree.
Or yeah, that's what I mean. Okay, let's go to this next one. This is a fun one. Timothy Chalamet is a miscast in almost every movie he's in.
Again, I don't want to I keep
Because there
looking at
are
my
some.
phone because I
No,
don't want
that's
to
fine.
like
No, that's a totally
say something
valid thing.
before.
Let's. This is no. Let's keep doing this because dude, him and Don't Look Up was so goddamn funny. I completely forgot he was
Hmm.
in that. I
Dude, I've
I
seen a
was
lot of his movies.
yeah, me too. I was not a Timmy fan for a while. I don't know what changed in my brain, but I kind of love the guy. I I totally disagree with that.
Totally disagree.
I think he is great in everything he's been in, and I feel like he has almost always fit the role. Like, and again, there are some movies of his that I haven't seen. So I don't know. Maybe this person who's commented did their research great and has seen every single Chalamet movie. I
It's
haven't, but I've seen the majority and the
yeah,
big ones.
it's not a fully disagree.
I don't know what movie just looking at this list, I could not say that a character that he's played felt like someone else should have played it. Honestly.
Have you watched The King?
I have not seen The King.
The King, I could see that in The King. I don't see him as the character that he
Okay.
plays.
He's always perfect in the films like Lady Bird or Call Me by Your
Yeah,
Name or
like
Bones and All, the
Beautiful
one that
Boy,
are
like the
he
indie films. Like he's
he's
really,
yeah.
really good in that.
That's like his genre. He
Yeah,
needs to just keep
yeah,
knocking those out of the park because
yeah.
he can do those well.
And I just didn't like Don't Look Up, but that's like
Oh, the movie itself.
yeah, I
No,
didn't like the
I
movie.
the movie was whatever. His character
So
was hilarious.
I yeah,
I
I don't
fucking love fingerling potatoes.
maybe Rainy Day in New York. I just
I
couldn't.
haven't seen that one.
I just I didn't see any chemistry with him
Mm.
and Selena Gomez, but that's so yeah, I can
I
see it in
think
like maybe 1 or 2 movies or 3 at most.
I think it's really interesting because a lot of people say that Dune is his best role ever, Dune 2. If I were to ever at all agree with this, I think I would slightly say that maybe he is not the best in Dune. I
Mhm.
think everyone thinks he's the best in Dune. I don't think that's his best performance. I'm
Which one
not
do you think
saying
it
it's his
is?
worst performance. I'm just saying that he has better performance. What's his best performance, you
What
mean?
do you think? Or what do you think it's better than Dune?
Either Beautiful Boy or Call Me by Your Name.
I was gonna say
Probably Beautiful
Beautiful
Boy
Boy
is the
is
most.
an insane performance.
Yeah. Probably Wonka. Oh my god, Wonka, bro.
Where's Wonka 2? Where's Wonka 2? That's what I'm wondering.
We don't need Wonka too. Well, and that's the other thing. To like people say that he's miscast. He can do anything he wants. He can do
Yeah.
any kind of role. He can play fucking Bob Dylan. He can play Willy Wonka. He
Yeah.
can play Paul Atreides. He
Yeah.
can play little twink boy.
So this one for
This
me
guy
is a
can do it all.
disagree. I can see maybe where you're coming from, random person, but no, I don't really agree.
I don't agree either. Okay. There's a Marvel one in here, but I'll save it for a bit later because we just
Okay.
got. Okay. Okay. Here's a hot one. Neon is better than A24. That's so tough,
Okay,
dude.
I have my answer.
Oh, I don't know if I have my answer, but god damn, that's a tough one. That's a
I
really,
have my
really,
answer,
really tough one.
and it's a really clear answer.
What's yours? Disagree?
Not yet.
Not yet. So you think Neon
Could
will
be or will
okay.
be better than A24.
Okay, that's a
Not yet.
good. That's yeah. I think I disagree, but I do think I agree with you, and that Neon and A24 are my two faves right now, though.
Yeah.
Like they're the most up there. They've been producing great stuff. That the horror movies from Neon. I know you aren't as, but like Cuckoo was fine, but Longlegs, Presence, Anora.
Anora.
Oh, like Neon does
Yeah,
have some.
everybody says
the
Perfect
monkey,
Days
right?
is really good.
Yeah,
I've never
the
watched
monkey.
that.
The monkey was also Neon. I believe actually, the monkey was the highest grossing horror Neon film. Is that correct? I don't. It was something along those
Maybe, I don't
lines.
know.
I just remember that Osgood Perkins had something about that. But
Palm Springs. That's a
uh,
funny one.
oh, Palm Springs is good.
Um,
Parasite, the Portrait of a Lady on Fire. There's Neon has so many good ones out there, but
Itonia is so good.
but A24 is
Not yet.
really.
That's my answer.
Yeah,
Not yet.
I think they will get
Because
better.
A24 is going a little bit down.
I know. It's
So
so
if
sad.
Neon, if you're watching this, if you do things right from
Dude,
now
keep it
till
up,
like
Neon.
in like 5, 6, 7 years, you're surpassing A24
I was
easily.
gonna say, I honestly think we'll see a bit of a decline in A24 while Neon slowly starts to rise. But like A24 will forever be like the indie low budget, like that's what you think about when you think of A24. And even though they are becoming mainstream, that's where they came from. And
Yes, but still, Death of a Unicorn is mainstream, but they're still
Death of a
giving
Unicorn
chances to
is-
like new
yeah.
directors.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
like it's a
It's
mix
trying
of
to
both.
balance out. The Legends of Ochi is coming soon. I don't know when.
Yeah, I don't know
but
when.
there's another original one for the bitches out there who are complaining
those who
about
have a
this.
sad life.
And guess who's in it?
Who?
Our boy, the man sent from above, from God, Willem Dafoe. I didn't even mention him in Poor Things because that's a whole nother thing I could have brought up that I stayed
Is
away
there
from.
any hot take on Willem
No,
Dafoe? Oh,
no, there's no hot take. Willem Dafoe's perfect. Why would there be a hot take on him, bro? Okay, but I think I'm gonna say I disagree for now. I disagree that Neon is better, but in time, it's definitely
A24,
possible.
keep up, please.
Okay. Oh, okay. I'll do these two back to back because these two movies I think are on your top 4. Seven is a decent enough movie, but doesn't hold up after multiple viewings.
I think I've watched 7 at least
if you've seen it 7 times, that would be crazy.
I was gonna say at least 6 times. Maybe 7. Mm, no,
I think
sorry.
this might be the first one that I strongly disagree with. The reason behind that is I watched 7 a year ago or something. I don't remember when it was the first time I watched it, but I knew spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen it. Sorry, get over it. It's an old movie, oldish. I knew exactly how it was going to end. Like I knew that Gwyneth Paltrow's head would be. I knew that's what it was going to be. Not even because like I had seen anything, just because like it almost felt obvious that that's what it was to me. It almost felt obvious that it was going in that direction. This is one of those films that I think knowing how it ends makes it even more intense when watching.
Completely agree.
Like there are a lot of films that like try to keep that tension of you not knowing what's going on, and then it's like this big reveal at the end. Whereas I think 7, if you know exactly what's coming, it just makes it 10 times better as a viewer, because you want to know how it escalates and how the fuck you're still feeling tense and pulled in, even though you know exactly what it is. And I felt the exact same way on the second watch. And on the second watch, I completely had forgotten about that jump scare in the bedroom where the guy woke up. Like when we watched it for Movie Mondays, I was shocked.
Yes.
And I was like, I've seen this movie. How did that shock me? So I think that this one honestly gets a little better and better with
Yeah.
every viewing.
My thing with it is that obviously the first time you watch it, it's like, okay, who's doing this and why are they doing it? And like, how's it gonna end? Yes. But after you know the whole story, what's terrifying for me in this movie is holy shit, he knows exactly
Mhm.
what is gonna happen, and he knows
Mhm.
exactly what he's doing, and he knows that he can fuck with them like
Yep.
so easily. So that's what's terrifying about the
Yeah.
character. So every time I watch it, it's like I don't know, let's say like Brad Pitt is like doing like I don't know how to explain it, but like he's for example
So
in
the
that car
acting in
scene
that
when they're
movie.
driving at the end, like
It's so
he
tense.
thinks that he's in
He's in the
control
lead and he's
and he's
yeah.
so not in control. So like I don't know, seeing those little details every time that I watch it where like characters think that they're in control,
Mhm.
but like he
It's
knows that it's
yeah.
completely going in a different way is what terrifies me, and I
Yeah.
think that's what I enjoy
It also
the most every time I
is just
watch
a
it.
great experience to pick up on things you didn't pick up on before.
Hmm.
Cinematography standpoint, Joey and I were talking about this. The final scene where Brad Pitt has the gun and he what's in the box, that whole thing. Every time it cuts to a shot of John Doe, camera's completely still. And then it cuts to either Morgan Freeman or Brad Pitt and it's like shaky. And then it'll cut back. It's completely still. And it's
It's
like
so
he
good.
never loses control of the
Never.
situation.
No,
He is
not a
in
single
the
time.
entirety of the movie, he always is ahead of them. And they
Because he
even do
gets
that
what he
in
wants.
little details with cinematography. I don't know how you could say that it gets worse on more viewings or that it's like it
Exactly.
doesn't
Yeah,
yeah,
there's
I
so many
disagree. I
details that I still haven't seen maybe,
yeah.
and
And also with people who haven't seen it before, holy fuck, that's fun.
that's my next thing that I was gonna say. I think I've watched this movie by myself once, like the first time I
The first
watched
time I
it.
watched was by myself.
Every other time I've watched it has been because I wanted to show this movie to someone.
Exactly. That's one
Um,
that's great that you to show to other
so
people.
yeah, that's why maybe another reason why it doesn't get like boring to me or anything. I don't know what the wording they use
Mhm.
there, but I just like seeing people seeing this for the
It's so
first time.
exciting.
But yeah,
Yeah. So I very much disagree with that one. Okay. Second one that's another on your top
I
4.
think I know what movie it's gonna be.
The Truman Show is only popular because it came out just at just the right time for a film about reality TV, but ultimately isn't that good of a film.
Shut up. Just shut up. Just please shut up. You don't deserve to have a phone. You don't deserve to have internet. You don't deserve to have anything in this world. I'm so sorry. I don't know what you're doing. I would like to see your top 4 on Letterboxd, actually. I would like to see that.
You seem passionate about this.
Oh, I just maybe Truman Show is maybe my favorite film. I
Really?
don't know. It's like
Oh, wow.
I am obsessed with that film. But you're seeing it with watching WandaVision now. Like
Oh yeah, that's why I was just gonna bring that up. You
anything.
feel it in its presence in every single movie that is
Exactly.
about like filming a movie or like some sort of unknown reality.
Yes.
Its presence is so clear in
You
every
know,
every show that kind of tries to do that same concept.
this has been the only movie that I've watched that has actually like made me question things in life.
Question if yeah, it's
Every
like
time I watch it, I
it's
have
a
at
deep
least
film. It's a very
3
deep film.
days of, is everything a lie?
hmm
Is like, what is real and
What
what
would happen
isn't?
if I
And
just
like,
turned to the camera and did like a product placement right now? Would you have any idea what to do? Would you just fall over and die, dude? Like that would be crazy.
no, shut up, because I am actually getting anxious right now. Every single time I talk about the Truman Show or I watch it, I get super anxious because I'm like,
So this is
there
one
is
of the
no,
most movies that makes you feel the most out of any
yes,
movie
out
you've
of any
seen.
movie in the world. Because
Wow.
every
No,
time I watch, even
that's
if I
fair.
watch it with you and I look at you, what's crazy to me is that I will have, there's no
There's no way
way,
of knowing.
there's
Yeah,
absolutely
that is
no
crazy.
way of knowing if you're
Ah,
actually my friend or you're just an actor, or like, or not even an actor, or like part of my imagination. Like, is what's real around me? I don't know how to explain how crazy my
no, yeah,
brain
no,
goes
that's
every
that's
time I
totally
think
fair.
about it.
Whenever I try to think about that stuff too, I just get to a point where my brain can't handle it. I get a headache and I'm just like, I'm done. I'm
I'm
done.
done.
I'm done
Same.
thinking about it. I'm
I'm
just
so done. In fact,
move
we
on.
can only stay like 1 more or 2 more minutes about this. But like, it's,
I disagree with that
shut
take
up.
too. Yeah, that's
Shut
that's a
up.
little crazy. There's no, maybe it came out at the right time, but that doesn't have to do with anything. Like my mom was the one who showed me this movie, and she really liked it, and I really liked it the first time I watched it. And God, the most powerful ending ever.
Ugh.
Like it's perfect, and it's got the greatest mix of drama and comedy. And Jim Carrey, probably my second favorite role of his, followed by Eternal Sunshine, because it's like his other kind of serious role.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I just I disagree. It's a great movie. It's a fun movie, and
It's a really
it
good
really
movie.
does it. It brings so much question to reality, and a movie that has the ability to do that is
Yeah.
impressive.
And if you look frame by frame, maybe it's not a 5 stars for you. Maybe. Okay. It is for me. It makes me feel a lot.
hmm
And I think it's such a clever film. It I think you can watch it today and it's not like all dated or like
No, it
anything
doesn't
like
feel
that.
dated by any means.
Like, it's a really, really, really good film.
hmm
I'm sorry. You're wrong.
You are wrong, anonymous person. Okay. Ooh,
What
do
else?
we? Man, I'm just jumping all over the place right now,
So
but
just
I
pick
want
one, whatever.
to. I Okay. I don't know how much we can talk about this one because you haven't seen the originals, but you've seen this one. Let's go into it anyway. Uh, Alien Romulus is a bad movie that doesn't have an original idea in it outside of superficial details. It's not a back to basics horror movie because it isn't remotely scary.
Okay.
Someone thought they mic dropped on that. Yeah,
You start. I want to
the
reread it.
phrasing is hard. The reason I'd say maybe we aren't able to fully go into it is because you haven't seen the original ones, which don't worry everyone, I'm making him watch those. But I understand that people are going to dislike this movie because it's a sequel from a series of original of it goes way back. This movie has so much goddamn history. It comes from the 70s. So I can see why people aren't going to like this film. I can see why there's going to be skepticism. But for them, let me see the exact phrasing again. For them to say that it's a bad movie without an original idea, that's not true. I think Fede Alvarez concepts of making the story of this movie feel like a progressive video game is the most one of the coolest, most original concepts I've seen. Like it literally feels like you are walking through levels of a video game in a spaceship and there's a big ass boss fight at the end because there is. And that progression in itself is alone enough to make me think like that's original. That is a new idea. That's a very cool concept. And there's much more in it that feels original to me. For it to say that there's no new ideas, I don't know about that. I don't think you can make a movie that doesn't have a new idea.
That's perfect for me to jump in because you, random person, are saying that it doesn't have an original idea. You do realize that you're going into an alien film, and I haven't seen
You
the
need to keep with the
originals, but
series.
like Alien, or let's say The Thing, or let's say
Mhm.
any other movie where a group of characters is stuck in a place with a creature, is the same thing.
To an
So
extent, it will be
you
that
do
same
know that it
premise.
can't be an original idea
Yeah,
because like even if
that's
you
how they
come
work.
up with a super like new creature, super new environment, super new storylines, they're still stuck in a place with a creature.
Yeah, so the baseline concept, of
Can't
course,
be
it's not
original.
new.
You
Of
do know that,
course,
right?
it's not new.
But I do think that they get really creative with
Yeah,
it.
no, I do too. And like, especially in consideration with all the original ones, this film definitely is a good representation of what the franchise is because it brings new concepts and it does things that the originals don't do, but it also does the right things that the originals do. So I think it was a perfect blend. I loved this movie. I thought it was great. Um, it isn't remotely scary. Are you kidding me?
Shut up.
Are you joking? Are you did you see the creature at the end, bro? Are you kidding me? The offspring? What the hell?
I was
What
terrified.
the hell?
But again, I don't know if my
Yeah,
scale is.
your scale's
I
way on
was
the scared side.
terrified.
I mean, I oh, some of the jump scares got us in theaters though. I remember watching this with Colton and Noah, and we were like, we were in the Cinemark, so where it was it was a small theater, so it was really loud, which was great. Oh god, the sound design in that movie, I will never get over that movie's sound design. But the jump scares were great. The tension when they're walking through the room and they need to not raise their
Oh,
temperature because the face huggers will jump at. Oh, it's scary. What do you mean it's not scary? I don't know. I disagree with
really?
that one. I think a lot of people are gonna just hate on it regardless because it's part of a franchise
And it's a sequel.
and it's yeah, exactly. So there's already that automatic hate that comes with it. So just get past it, bro. Just get over it.
Yeah,
It's not that deep.
deep.
Exactly. Okay. Perfect motto to sum that one up. I'm gonna keep jumping around because this is fun. The Batman is simply fine.
Oh, that's it.
2020, yeah, 2020, what, 2? 1? 22. 2022, Robert Pattinson, The Batman.
I mean, I disagree.
I do too.
I'm trying to think
I do
of
too. I'm
my
just
arguments.
you didn't
Because
yeah,
you
I
didn't
need
give
my
me much.
yeah, you're supposed to back your stuff up, but
Come on.
you just say it's fine. So, give me a break.
Um,
I think there were so many new things it brought. The visual style. There we go. That's one that definitely has
probably
its specific visual style
one of the most artistic,
of the Batman.
I'd say superhero movies.
Yeah, honestly, it
Mm,
really is. Oh, and we're
it's
gonna get part 2, but it just keeps getting delayed and delayed and delayed.
yeah.
It's making me so mad because I need it. It's released in 2027 is when it's anticipated for. That's a 5-year
Mm-hmm.
gap. Holy shit.
It
Dang.
it's awesome. It doesn't rely on other movies or another like
It
bits
doesn't
of the
need
franchise.
it's really
Doesn't
not cliche, I
it's
don't feel.
not
Like
that cliche. It has the tension. It has the dilemmas.
God, the fight
It
sequences
has
are
the
amazing.
action.
Like the hallway fight sequence where you
Yeah.
just see the gunshots lighting. Like it's a beautiful,
It has
beautiful
the
movie.
lighting. It has the color. It has the acting. It definitely has the directing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I don't know
Maybe
where you're coming
maybe
from.
that is why people didn't like it is because it was a newer, much more artistic approach to the movies as opposed to just exactly
Oh, I'm sorry. It's
every
not like.
superhero film you see it. Like it's like if I'm to it like I'm gonna come back to Marvel, but like
Yeah, yeah.
there's a very clear difference of watching a Marvel film versus watching the Batman. I think people wanted the Batman to be another DC or Marvel film.
Yeah, I'm
And they're
sorry.
like, it's not.
AC/DC wasn't playing in the bag with a bunch of explosions. I am sorry.
Like, if I go forward really craving superhero movies, this is exactly what I want to see. I want to see a new, more artistic, like detailed approach to it, as opposed to just the same stuff we've been seeing for however long. How does this ultimately just keep coming back to the concept of like, I want new movies, I want original movies? It does though. Everything kind
It
of comes
does,
back to
but
that.
I don't know.
People are dumb. I
Really
disagree.
dumb.
I disagree with you, random person. You
Yeah.
can shut your mouth,
Yeah.
idiot. Okay. What is next? this
come on.
this is not a hot take. I don't
Give
know
it to
why I
me.
added this. The Fall Guy. Oh wait. Oh no. This is a hot take. The Fall Guy was the best movie of 2024 thus far. I totally disagree, bro. That was like not a great
What?
movie. It was fucking fine. Sorry, but
It was so much fun. It was a
that was
great movie.
the first movie you and I saw in theaters together.
Yes. So
And
it has a
it
special
was
place in our
no, it literally doesn't. I just remember that.
It
now.
doesn't.
No, it wasn't great. It was like
It was
okay,
fun.
fun.
It was
We're
a lot of
we're having a
fun.
good time. Ryan Gosling shirtless coming out of water while
Yeah.
a remake of I Was Made for Loving You by Kiss plays.
Yeah.
Great.
But
Best movie
did
of
he say
2024?
2024?
Yeah.
Have you seen Anora?
I'm like,
You probably haven't. You
come
probably
on,
haven't,
bro.
random person.
Bro, Dune 2? Fall Guy. like what the hell? Yeah, no, that is a
No,
hot take, and I
that is
disagree.
a big hot take. And
That's
sorry, I can't agree with you.
yeah, no.
We're not gonna give you much more time.
Okay. Let's see here. Oh wow, that's wordy. That might be too wordy. Okay. Wow.
I mean, if they give me arguments, it's better.
Yeah, but it's like a little too deep. Maybe
Oh,
we'll get into that one in a
okay.
bit. Uh, The Whale was horrible, and Brendan Fraser didn't deserve the Oscar. There's our first hot take. This is a two-part.
Oh, okay.
This is even crazier. Tom Cruise should have won for Top Gun Maverick, yet he wasn't even nominated. Are you kidding me? I didn't see Top Gun Maverick, so I should not be a jerk about this, but really? Really? Are you for real?
Well, do you remember Tom Cruise in any other movie?
Exactly.
Well, that's what Top Gun
Here's the thing.
was.
Everyone hates Tom Cruise a little bit. I love him in certain movies. I love him in Eyes Wide Shut specifically. But he was also, he had a good director. He had Kubrick, which there's a hot take about Kubrick. So maybe that's our next one. But Kubrick directed him, so I think it's kind of impossible for his performance to be bad. But to say that Brendan Fraser didn't deserve the Oscar / The Whale was a bad movie. I don't know that I loved The Whale.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was good in aspects. I honestly think it could have been so much stronger if it were a short film. Like, there are some movies that you watch that you kind of just are like, this should be a short film, and it would be absolutely perfect. Because The Whale had so much to it and so much intensity and so much whatever, but at the end of the day, it was basically 3 characters in the same location for 2-ish hours. And for the concept that's there, if that was just kind of squished in a bit, I seriously feel like that would have been a perfect short film. And I think it dragged on a bit at points, but I mean, they did do that to show the relationship. So I don't know. But Brendan Fraser not deserving the Oscar. I mean, who was he up against? Austin. It would have been Austin Butler or him, right? This is for 2023.
I think so.
Because I don't. Who else was in the running? But
I don't know. Keep yapping.
I think that year, I don't remember who else was in it, but I know the top 2 contenders for Best Actor. It was going to be Austin Butler or Brendan Fraser. And I know for a while I was rooting for Austin Butler just because I loved Elvis. And I didn't see The Whale until 2024, I think. So I didn't really even see his performance at that point. But
okay, it was Austin Butler. Colin Farrell for Banshees of Inisherin. Don't even
Okay.
get me started on that. Paul Mescal for
Oh,
After
okay.
Sun, and Billy Nighy for Living.
I don't know. Okay. So interesting.
I think out of this ones, he deserved it. I was rooting for Paul
Mm-hmm.
Mescal, but that's just because it's Paul Mescal.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think he to a big extent he deserved it. He was really, really, really good. The movie, like you were saying, well, that ending,
The
I
ending was
didn't like it
yeah,
at
yeah,
all. Um, but in general, I do feel like it's a movie that suffers from not being able to do more in like settings, or
yeah.
I don't know.
Like it
There's a lot
was in
of
the
great
apartment the
movies that
whole
happen
time.
in one setting.
Yeah,
I think this one for them was a disadvantage, because it wasn't
yeah,
it wasn't interesting enough, because he also could barely move.
yeah,
So it's not like he's
yeah.
moving around the house
Exactly.
or
There
anything
was
like that.
really
He's,
you
for the
couldn't
most
do
part of the movie, he's
blocking.
sitting.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, you can't really play around with where the characters are, because there's also just three characters.
yeah.
Um, so I really like The Whale.
Mm-hmm.
Also strong message. Sadie Sink was really good in
She
it
was good. Yeah.
too. But no,
Darren
I don't know where you.
Aronofsky just likes to make people feel uncomfortable.
So maybe this one is like a disagree, but I can see maybe your point.
Yeah, I think I don't agree on the Oscar thing that Tom Cruise should have won the Oscar.
Oh wait, I forgot about Tom Cruise.
Yeah, that was part of it.
Completely disagree on that.
That's
Completely
crazy.
disagree. Top Gun Maverick was a really fun movie. It is special to me for like other reasons, but like I
Mm,
do like really like it. Um, Oscar worthy though. I think it was actually nominated for an Oscar for like either sound or VFX or
mm,
something like that. But that's the kind of movie, like the kind of nominations that you're going for with that movie. You can't really go for like script, acting, any of that. It's just
mm-hmm.
not that far compared to other movies.
Yeah, I would say kind of half. I definitely disagree on the Tom Cruise part. Don't. I do think Fraser should win the Oscar, and he
Mm-hmm.
did. I don't think the movie's horrible, but I didn't think it was like outstanding. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, bit of bit of both there. Okay, we're gonna shift back into the Marvel world for one more.
Yes. Or maybe I'm gonna hate this.
No, 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 no. This is a fun one for me because I grew up on one of these movies specifically. This is a two-parter because I saw two different things about this and I just morphed them into one. So the first one is Spider-Man 3 is actually good. The second one is
Spider-Man, like original
Sam
Spider-Man.
Raimi.
Okay.
And second one is I like Spider-Man Homecoming more than any other Spider-Man. So basically we'll just put it into Spider-Man 3 and Spider-Man Homecoming are the two best ones.
Mm-hmm.
Is kind of what this is going
Okay.
for a little bit.
Okay. Well, right
Actually,
away.
I don't know. I don't know if I can do that because Spider-Man 3 is actually good is not saying it's the best of them. So
No,
maybe we'll
we
keep
can
them a
do.
little
They're
separate. We'll
separate.
keep them
It's
separate.
okay to keep them separate. Right away, I just can't really give you much insight on Spider-Man 3, because I'm pretty sure the last time I watched it multiple times, but the last time I watched it, I was still like a
Young.
kid.
Yeah, me too, but that's
So
like I grew up on
I
those.
don't remember enough to tell you like if acting was good, cinematography,
Mhm.
or all those things. I just remember enjoying it a lot.
I did too. And it was like I think the biggest thing it ran into was the issue of having so many main villains in
Yeah.
it that it didn't really know which direction to go and some of them
Maybe.
felt less cool and yada yada, but the ending fight at the construction site where it's like
Mm-hmm.
Sandman, New Goblin, Spider-Man and Venom just all fighting each other.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I I don't know if I can say it's an actually good movie, but it's really fun. And I think for like kids watching
Yes.
Spider-Man,
Yes.
it's a great movie. For
Yeah.
like more teenagers and adults and getting into that realm, eh. But like for kids, it's a great one.
Yeah, and I think I
And
speak
that's
for
what it was
both
for
of
me
us
because I was a
when
kid when I grew up on
I
these.
think I speak for both of us when I say like it it's a special like
Mm,
movie for us, because at least for me it was one of the first years where I was like into superheroes,
Mm-hmm.
and like now I'm like super into Marvel and all that, and it's like, oh, it's like fun that when I
Yeah.
was a kid I
Yep.
also was into it. Um and then it's also like I really enjoyed movies as a kid, and
Yeah.
now I still do, and
Mm-hmm.
like I can kind of look back at that and remember them in like a special way.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think I will talk shit about Spider-Man 3,
Yeah, I was
but
gonna say the original trilogy for me, the Sam Raimi ones are so dear in my heart. I like those are probably the movies I've seen more than any other movie. In
mm,
all honesty, probably would have to be. Oh my god, maybe Spider-Man 3 is the movie I've seen more than any other movie. Because I was gonna say two, but I don't know if that's true. I watch those all the time, and Joey and I as a kid, we would like we had this little stupid watch
mm-hmm.
thing that our mom bought for Joey, and it was like this it was like a secret spy watch and you could record stuff on it. So we would watch Spider-Man 3, but then we would set the watch up and record the screen while we watch it. So that whenever we traveled or went anywhere, if we wanted to just watch Spider-Man 3, we could pull up our little watch and like watch it on that. So we like recorded it whenever and we watched it all the time. So
That's
yeah,
fun.
I mean, all three of those are very special to me.
Yeah,
I've seen them
yeah.
so many times. So
I should rewatch them.
maybe
But
that's a next up thing for
mm-hmm.
us to do is just tackle all three of
Yeah.
them.
Mm-hmm. I do have to say though, and maybe this kind of connects with the other hot
Mm-hmm.
take. Tobey Maguire is my least favorite Spider-Man. I love all three,
Yeah,
but
I
I am
hmm.
an Andrew Garfield guy
Andrew
um,
Garfield is my
for
favorite one as well.
Spider-Man.
The let's just we'll shift that into this next one. So they're saying Spider-Man: Homecoming is the best of them.
Yes,
I don't agree with that.
I. My thing is, I don't agree with it. I still haven't picked mine.
Oh, okay. My biggest dislike about the new Spider-Man movies is how reliant they are on goddamn Tony Stark. Like Spider-Man is Spider-Man. Spider-Man is not Iron Man. Like Spider-Man as like Peter Parker is a teen growing up who doesn't know what to do with himself, who gets bit by a radioactive spider and he becomes all these things and he does this stuff on his own. And his story is so powerful cuz he's just a kid. When you throw in Tony Stark and like all the goddamn technology that Marvel gives to Spider-Man, I'm just like I don't care. This isn't Spider-Man to me. This is a teenager who got lucky with technology.
Yeah.
I can't
Mm-hmm.
get that. There's a brick wall of that for me that
Yeah.
I can't push through, and it really makes it difficult for me to even try to appreciate the new Spider-Man movies.
Mm-hmm.
That's mean, but
No, no,
I
I
just
completely agree
it's
with it. And
just
I was
tough for
just
me
gonna
to get
say
past.
that maybe, hopefully, you enjoy Spider-Man 4
Mm-hmm.
because of the way they
Because
ended his
that's
story.
exactly, and that's what
Because
I'm
now
hoping
he's
for.
literally on his own.
That's what I'm really hoping for because I liked the way they did that ending. I thought was one of the best parts that they've done with the three new ones. The fact that it's him back to his roots in the original Spider-Man suit and he's by himself on his own. Really hope they stick to that.
I
They
hope so
won't,
too. No, they
but
won't
I
because
hope
they have to connect him
they have
to
to connect
everything
with the
else. But
Avengers.
maybe in that
Yeah,
one movie they do,
yeah,
and
which should
maybe
be
that
awesome.
becomes your favorite one. Who knows?
Yeah,
I
we'll
would.
see.
I'm trying to go back to everything, and I would say it's for me in between Spider-Man, like the first
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man, or the
Even Willem
first
Dafoe is
Amazing
in that.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, I the first
I
Amazing
think
Spider-Man I
it's
think
the
is my
first
favorite.
Amazing Spider-Man. But I also remember like really liking the first Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think since Andrew Garfield is my favorite one,
Yeah.
I like that. I do. I don't know why I remember that scene so vividly, but like that scene where like there's like this like big guy in the basketball team, and like he's at the basketball
And he
court,
does
and
the
like
he's
and he
like doing
dunked
all
and,
around and he dunks it and
and
shatters
he
it.
dunks and shatters it. And
Yeah.
I don't know
That scene
all
is
that. I think is
iconic.
like to me is like iconic. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think. I mean, yes, obviously, No Way Home is super cool in many ways, but
It's kind of but it gets
it's
to a
too
point
much.
where it is just fan service as opposed
Just
to
fan service.
a cohesive like good intelligent story. But
Yeah.
so I don't agree with that Homecoming's the best.
No,
I
I don't
did
agree
like
either.
the vibe of it because what I did appreciate about Homecoming is that compared to all the Marvel stuff that was out there at this time, it felt less like it was an entire world threat. He still felt more friendly neighborhood Spider-Man
Yeah.
as opposed to Avenger fucking I'm in space kicking
Yeah.
ass Spider-Man,
And you know
which
what
I
I
liked
also
better.
like about Homecoming is that they keep the high school problems
Yeah.
so present.
Yeah, those are still
Because
there,
like
which is
it's
good.
so easy for other movies, other Spider-Man movies or superhero movies to like, oh, they have this big responsibility. They're a high school student, or like they're like they have a job or whatever. As soon as they put on the mask, there's no consequences of
Yeah.
them not being in school or them not
Yeah.
doing all these other things. And the fact that like he's in like the school trip and like all that, I think it's like really
Mhm.
fun.
Yeah, it's interesting though the fact
And
that
him trying to like still keep a like a social life in
mhm.
high school. It's interesting.
Yeah. The fact that I do love the original 3 so much is interesting because I do think Amazing Spider-Man 1 is my favorite. So I don't know necessarily why. Maybe it's because of the fact that it was the first one that came out that was new for
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man growing up. Like the hype of like, oh my god, there's a new Spider-Man. Like the second remake or whatever. So it's like it was huge at the time. And now the director's making Snow White. I just randomly pieced that together in my brain. Mark Webb, bro. What are you doing?
Ah,
Anyway, yeah. So I mean I disagree with that, but
I also.
a
Oh,
lot of
what's your
lot of
favorite?
Spider-Man stuff.
I guess MJ or like love interest.
Oh, interest. I mean, I love Emma Stone,
Emma
dude. Gwen
Stone is up there, but you know I'm a
I do.
Zendaya guy too.
Oh, really? I think I like Kirsten Dunst, Mary Jane the best. I think I like her the best.
I don't
Yours
like
is
her at all.
Zendaya.
I don't know. I'm in between Emma Stone
She's
and Zendaya, and
that's crazy.
I
That's
just
crazy.
don't
Don't
really
diss on
like
Marie Antoinette, bro.
the
Leave her alone.
I just don't like Kirsten Dunst that much, like in general.
You're
So
dumb.
I don't
That's a
vibe
hot
with her
take.
as much.
That's a hot take in and of itself.
Yeah, maybe it is a hot take. I enjoy some of her movies. I think you have a hot take written down for Civil
Civil
War.
War. Yeah, that was maybe
Um,
what I was going to go into next. That's the wordy, deep
but
one.
yeah, I'm not much into her. But I am like, I grew up with Zendaya,
Yeah.
like
I
from Shake It
didn't.
Up and
Zendaya,
like
I wasn't
and
Disney
Casey
Channel.
Undercover and like all these like Disney movies. Like as
Yeah.
soon as like Zendaya made it to like Euphoria and like Marvel and like this
Mhm.
like or like even Malcolm and Mary, which
Mhm.
no one talks about, and it's such a great film. Like I don't know, once as soon as she started getting more not super serious because Marvel is not that
Mhm.
serious, but like more like grown up stuff. I was like super proud of her.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for me she's modern. I didn't grow up with her. So
no,
for me she's a modern
no
person.
Zendaya. I've been with Zendaya
Yeah.
since I was like 10, and she was I don't know how old she was, but
Mhm.
like 15. I don't know.
Mhm.
Um, I grew up with her, and so maybe if Zendaya is my favorite one, it's because it's Zendaya. If Emma Stone is my favorite
Mhm.
one, is because I think I like her in the movie best.
I'm second guessing myself and switching to Emma Stone because I'm just thinking about like Amazing Spider-Man 2 kind of flopped, but there were a lot of likable qualities about Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield in that one.
Yeah.
What I didn't like is how like their relationship somehow got so fucking mature and it felt like from 1 to 2, 1 is like high school and 2 was only like a year after 1, but it felt like they were like 40-year-olds
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
mean like they were older adults playing high schoolers, but the script clearly stopped caring about making them feel like they just graduated high school.
Yeah.
But like if you just kind of push that aside, like I do like their dynamic together, and it's also sad, like because Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone started dating, and then they broke up.
Yeah.
Yada yada history, but I think Emma Stone. I think I like Gwen from The Amazing Spider-Mans. Yeah.
Nice.
So you don't know though, Zendaya or Gwen, one of the two.
Depends if I'm going with actress or character. Character when actress Zendaya.
Okay, that's fair. I'll go. Well, was I gonna go into a different one, or did I just go into? I think I talked about another one, but I'll just go into Civil War next. Okay, so this is a bit wordy, maybe more deep.
Okay, let me focus.
Civil War is either a cynical nothing burger or an unintentionally apolitical inkblot masterpiece that perfectly captures the divisiveness of American politics by omitting them entirely.
So what's your take?
Yeah, so I guess I just screenshotted this one and chucked it on here. I guess this is a person advocating for both sides of it.
Oh, okay. So we choose a side?
Uh,
Is that what we're doing?
I'm going towards apolitical inkblot masterpiece. However, the first time I watched this movie, I thought it was one of the best movies I'd ever seen. And then I was just kind of like, oh, it's not that great. Like after another watch, and then after discussing it more and yada yada, I think I was so amped up on the hype of Alex Garland because I had just kind of watched like 2 or 3 of his. I watched Ex Machina. I didn't watch Annihilation at that time, but I watched 2 of his movies, and then went to go see this in theaters while I was on my Alex Garland kick. So for me, it was awesome, and the cast was awesome, and oh god, the visuals were amazing. Uh, I I was a fan that it was apolitical. It really didn't take its stances. It was very ambiguous, and yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like it maybe seems like a complex movie, but boiling it down, like it's very simple. It didn't take super direct stances politically, and the premise was really simple, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know that there's much to dig into other than like
I was
I
gonna
take
say
more so the second stance than the first one.
I don't see Civil War as like a super deep
Yeah.
film. I saw it more as of like the consequences of it, or like how a civil war could impact
Yeah.
um like a war
Society in the
photographer, or
world,
like
and
like
yeah.
society in general, or like how it can twist with people's minds,
Mm-hmm.
and it can make you go crazy and into like one ideology or another one. um I don't think it takes any like it does any statements on
No, not really.
any political side.
Especially
I
because the president is like a fabricated one. Like they're not. I think right. It's not. They didn't base. I don't think they based
I
anyone in
don't know. I
reality.
don't
I
think
think it was
so.
all fake
I don't think so. Yeah.
situations.
So I see it. Yeah, I see it a lot more in like how it could affect people, and showing us that side of war that we usually don't see in media. Um, and it was done in a brilliant way in
Mm-hmm.
a lot of ways, like cinematography.
I really loved the juxtaposition, like when it would show a photograph and it would like from the intense action to a completely quiet still image of like the most brutal
Yeah.
like soldier getting ripped
Yeah.
apart.
Yeah.
That was like that was just
And also, I
intelligent.
really liked the dynamic of like the innocence of the younger photographer, like not maybe realizing at the
What
beginning
she's doing, what she's getting
how
into.
crazy her job
Mm-hmm.
is.
And how fake it is too, like how they would
Yeah.
like set up things or they would make frames seem
So I
like more
really
intense than they
enjoyed seeing it
are.
through her perspective
Yeah.
too. So yeah, I do think it's a great movie, and maybe not necessarily like
Mm-hmm.
political.
Yeah, I guess this wasn't really a
So
take. It was just giving us 2
yeah,
different
I do
perspectives, but
I'll choose the masterpiece one.
yeah. Uh okay. I'm debating which direction to go next. Let's just go into Tarantino.
Ooh,
The statement is
pull him
simply
up.
Tarantino's movies are pretty mid. That is that's all it says.
Okay.
I've been thinking about Tarantino a lot lately. He's been on my mind, and I just watched The Hateful Eight extended edition, which I hated the way that was formatted, dude. Because Netflix, I even wonder how like they got some sort of agreement where Tarantino wasn't flipped the fuck out that his film wasn't the exact way it was intended to be watched.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's huge on that. It was like, how did they do it? They did 4 episodes, and they would play the intro and the end credits at the beginning and end of every single episode. So you still had to like do the skip intro, and you still had to like scroll to the next thing, and there was a recap, and you had to skip credit. Like, let me watch the goddamn 3.5 hour movie as a 3.5 hour movie instead of 4 like 50-minute episodes with beginning and end credits. That was so aggravating. Like, it shouldn't have been that big of a deal, but if I want to experience the movie as it is, which I do, I want to just let it play all the way through.
Yeah.
and not have these random interruptions that take me out of the story and then force me to get back into the story that I'm not looking to do. That's a side tangent. I
Okay.
disagree. I think Tarantino's films are great. I don't like Tarantino as a human being,
Mm-hmm.
but I love his movies to an extent. He's been getting more and more self-indulgent as his film career progresses. I think he is an excellent filmmaker, and he has brought so many new things to the genre. He kind of has his own genre, but like I said, I think he has become really arrogant in these past couple
Mm-hmm.
years, and he's started to like make films that are less about the story and are more about feeling like a Quentin Tarantino movie.
Okay.
Like he loves his feet, he loves his random
Mm-hmm.
quick shots back to a previous thing, and then we'll jump around
Mm-hmm.
forward, and then we'll jump back. He narrates through the Hateful Eight, which was not enjoyable for me
Mm-hmm.
because it was like 2 hours of no narration, and then all of a sudden you hear his very familiar voice telling you exactly what's happened as they're doing the thing on screen, and then he's like, but also you missed this, and then shows you a thing that you didn't
Mm-hmm.
see. But so I do really love his films. The only two I actually have not seen now. Oh no, I still haven't seen Reservoir Dogs, and I think I call myself a filmmaker, and I haven't seen Reservoir Dogs. But I haven't seen Jackie Brown or Death Proof either. But other than that, I've seen like his whatever films. These are all shorts or ones he's directed
Okay.
with other people. So I've only not seen 3 of his. It's a crime that I've not seen Reservoir Dogs. Uh, but I love Kill Bill. I think that's got to be my favorite. I'm getting off topic, but I do really really love his films. I don't think they're by any means mid. I think every single one of his films, production wise, are so above average, and I just wish he would like take a step back and take a breather and just, yes, he's one of the greats, but just take yourself out of that a little bit, be a little more humble. Anyway.
I agree with the hot take.
Wow, I just did that. I just did that whole goddamn rant, and then we get, I agree. that, that was a long journey to get to just a very simple
I
statement.
just didn't know how
But
to bring it up because you were like praising on him, like, "Oh, he's so great," and like, "Oh, these." No, I agree.
interesting.
I
What have you seen from him? Let's start
I've
there.
seen 5. I've seen Pulp Fiction, Inglorious Bastards, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and both Kill Bills.
Oh, so you have seen Kill Bills.
Yes.
Okay. Did you like those?
Out of all of them, they're like the ones that I think I like the most. I think
Okay.
my favorite one of his is Kill Bill, the first one.
Yeah. I want to say it's my favorite as well.
And I think I
think
have
it's
it
so
at
brilliant.
4. Yeah, I have it at 4 stars. Everything else, I have it lower than that.
Interesting.
I have Inglorious Bastards at 2 stars, if
Whoa.
not lower, because I hate that movie.
Oh wow, that's
Hated that movie so much.
Yeah, that's a hot take.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Ugh. God, awful movie. I don't like that at all.
Wow.
So I
That's
gave it
crazy.
2 stars because I know it's good in this sense. You know
Wow.
what I mean? Like I know it's like a good production and like um I didn't log it. Like
Oh, dang it!
I wasn't
I was looking to see
no,
what
I
the review
wasn't big
was.
into like Letterboxd yet.
4.3 out of 2 star. Wow.
Yes, I just didn't enjoy it. Like I didn't.
Okay.
I thought it was very boring. I was very confused by like the languages switch all of a sudden, and like the first scene is really impressive, I do have to
Mhm.
say. But yeah, I didn't like any of the characters. I
Interesting.
didn't have a good time watching it. I'm sorry.
I think his character writing is some of the best out of all filmmakers. He really understands his characters like extremely well, and yeah, he's really good at writing characters. Like I think all of his characters come off as so specific in a great way.
I can see like what you were saying. He has like his director things where like
Mhm.
he's doing like either this camera movement or this whatever or this
Mhm.
that. I can appreciate all that. As a whole, I think his movies are kind of mid. Yeah. Even though I
Oh,
really like Kill Bill.
yeah.
Um, but Once Upon a Time
I've
in
heard
Hollywood was great,
so
but
many good things about Jackie Brown, and I really, really want to watch that next.
mhm.
Gosh, and I just, yeah, I still, maybe I'll end with Reservoir Dogs. I think maybe I'll do that, and I'll just wrap up my Tarantino exploration by
Yeah, and
finishing his filmography with his first one.
again, I'm saying all these things having watched 5.
Yeah,
Like maybe the other ones are great, but so we disagree.
we do disagree on that one, but we didn't fight.
No,
None of these have made us fight.
you went like
I
too
just went
deep
off on
into
a
yours that I was
intense
like,
tangent.
I'm not gonna fight. I'm just gonna say I don't like it. I
I'm
do, I do.
wondering if we put these two together or if we discuss them separate.
I mean, every time you've said two together, we've ended up doing them separately. So you
Okay,
can
I
like,
will list them together, but we'll
yeah.
talk about them separate. So, uh, first, first one. This is kind of I'm lumping them. Stanley Kubrick was not a genius. He was an asshole. In parentheses, I like several of his movies, but no one should require 50 takes for anything. Second point, 2001 is heavily overrated. Not saying it's bad, but it's definitely not the greatest science fiction film ever, but I can get where some think that.
See, on the first one, I can't. I've only seen 2001.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, that's so fun. Maybe I'll make you binge the Kubricks with me because oh, they're so good. Sorry, I'm just pointing at them.
I
But
just have Eyes Wide Shut on my watch list, but
Eyes Wide Shut.
2001.
Either Clockwork Orange or Eyes Wide Shut. I fucking love Stanley Kubrick, yeah, which is crazy because I kind of agree with the first one. He's such an asshole. Like I don't know if you
Mhm.
know much about him, but he's one of the meanest, most aggressive, intense directors ever, and he has traumatized the shit out of all of his
Mhm.
actors. Uh, I disagree with the fact that the first one says he's not a genius, he's an asshole. I think he's a
They
genius
don't go
and an
together.
asshole.
Yeah.
He is a genius, but he's like he's an evil fucking genius. Like I mean I do agree with it. No one like 50 takes on really intense, emotional. He does ask so much of his actors, like too much, and he pushes them too far oftentimes. But I do think I think he is a genius. I think he's made some of the most influential, best films of all time. The
Mhm.
Shining is just literally one of the best horror movies ever. Um, but so I don't know that you don't you can speak to that
Can't
much at
really
all,
have an opinion on that.
but
But if you're an asshole, yes, I agree.
yeah. But 2001 specifically, I've heard this from a lot of people. I don't think this is a hot take. This is a common take actually. Like I don't even remember who I was talking to, but someone was telling me like, "Oh, that one's overrated," and I've heard it all over the place. I don't I don't know where I stand on it because maybe it is overrated. Uh, maybe it's how do I put this? Like it is worshipped really intensely as like the greatest sci-fi ever, but there's so many different subgenres of sci-fi, and there's so many. I don't know how to tackle this one honestly. Like I love this movie, and I
I
think it's
love this movie
great.
too. I think I have it at
And
5 stars.
its take on AI could not be more prevalent. Like I want to rewatch very soon just because of in the last 2 years how much AI has progressed. It has been like making me really want to rewatch this movie. Uh, I don't know. I think it has a very intense and like good isn't the word, but the message of it, the way it approaches its message about AI and
Mhm.
about evolutions of human is pretty damn brilliant.
Mhm.
So, I don't know if I can say it's overrated. I do think it gets credit in a good way, and I know Ben, our film professor, loves this movie, and he
Yeah.
showed it to us in images on film. It's one of those movies that like is kind of essential for like film students. Like that's like one of
Yeah.
the you have to see this one.
I don't think it's overrated as a great or brilliant film. Might be overrated as in the best science fiction
Yeah,
movie of
I
all
can.
time.
Yeah, which I can see, and I don't know if that is what people claim, but it sounds like maybe that's a claim. So, but
I don't think so. It was also made in a time where like you can't really go as crazy as you can go now.
yeah, yeah.
But either way, I think it's totally brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
And even for my TikTok brain,
Mm-hmm.
you should be proud of me
No, I know.
for
That's what I think of the
sitting
fact
through
that.
it because like those like I don't know
Yeah.
8 to 10 minutes of like the
Oh, but it's
fight
so cool.
and like the
Yeah.
whole beginning with like all the monkeys and everything that's like also
Yeah.
so long.
God, the
I could have just
recreation
like
of that in
the
Barbie is
first line of
hilarious.
dialogue comes in so late too.
Uh-huh.
I could have just like turned it off immediately. And no, I
Mm.
really really like that movie.
Maybe the AI from it. Maybe Hal was pulling you in. Maybe he was speaking to your brain. Okay. Let's do another one. We've covered most of these. We've gotten through way more
That's
than I was
fun. Yeah,
expecting to.
that's good.
I don't know how I have not addressed this one. Dune Part 2 wasn't as great as people made it out to be. Shut the fuck up, bitch. This what are you talking about? Talk about greatest sci-fi ever. I won't put that label on Dune, but holy crap, it's up there. Dune 2 is one of the greatest sci-fis ever. I can confidently say that. Two from all the sci-fi movies I've seen. Dune
I
2 is
could
like one of the
confidently
best.
say that if I had this person right in front of me right now, I could win this argument by asking, "What's your favorite movie?" And
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know the answer, but whatever his or her answer is, would explain a lot about what they
Yeah,
said.
no, this movie's brilliant,
No,
dude.
it's
Uh
so good.
we've talked about this a decent amount on the podcast, but that's just because it's so worthy of discussion, and it had all the stuff with the Oscars that should have got nominated for more, didn't, yada yada, whatever. We're past that. Ugh, this is the best experience in theaters I have ever had watching a movie, literally ever. And my seats sucked. That's the other thing is I'm such like I need good seats and I need a good setup when I'm watching a movie. So the fact that I had really shitty seats and was like on the side nearly in the front and had to be like this and still had like the best theater experience of my life, that says a lot about a movie.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
maybe that's
yeah.
such a minor detail, but the fact that I had like awful seats and was still would count this as the best movie I've seen in theaters. Oh,
It was
hard
I don't
disagree.
really have much to
I
tell
was gonna say
you
hard
because you're not
disagree.
gonna appreciate anything that we say. But it was just talk about brilliant movies.
Bro,
This was a
try
brilliant
making those
movie.
VFX, dude.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah. I haven't a little like side quest right now, but like I haven't watched the show.
Oh, I haven't either. Messiah? Or
Yeah.
no. That's the name of the third one.
No, that's the name of the third one.
Prophecy. Prophecy?
Maybe. Yeah.
There's Messiah and Prophecy. One's the show and one's the new one, and I don't know which
I
one is which.
I kind of want to, but it doesn't
I
look
think the show is
appealing
Dune
to
Prophecy.
me.
I don't think I need or want to see it. I want to stay in the story of the trilogy before I go
Yeah,
into something
because
else.
I think it completely
I was
touches
gonna
something
say
different.
maybe I'll watch Prophecy like after,
Mm-hmm.
but for
Okay.
now I need to be immersed in.
I was just
the
curious.
Dune
I know you
movies.
hadn't
Ugh,
watched it, but
we need to. There's every time we get on this podcast and talk, I'm just reminded of how many movies we need to rewatch. Spider-Man trilogy, Dune 2. I need to rewatch Poor Things.
well, Shang-Chi first, okay?
Yeah, right. We're on that quest, dude. We have so many damn movie quests that we just have to get through. We're literally Alien franchise, all the
Indiana
Marvel
Jones,
movies, Indiana
Mission
Jones, Mission
Impossible.
Impossible. Gosh, there's just so many. There's not enough time in this life, bro.
There's not.
The fact that we're gonna die having not seen every single movie ever
No, that terrifies me.
kills me inside.
Terrifies me. It's so sad.
It really is, dude. It sucks. Okay, let's keep
Is there
trudging.
anything else?
For that, no, just straight
No.
up hard disagree, bro. That's about as simple as it gets. You are wrong, and you will stay wrong. Okay, this one's fun for me. That's why I chose it. Horror. Ugh, dang it! Now I don't know if I can agree with this one because of the wording. Horror is the best, most diverse, and entertaining genre with many overlooked but award-worthy performances.
I know what you mean. That you can't
The
agree with
wording
the
with it
wording.
to say it's specifically the best genre and like no others can compare.
First half of the hot take, I don't think you agree. Second half, I don't think
Correct.
you think people are appreciated,
I
like
don't think.
actors are
Yeah,
appreciated as
I
much
don't
as they
think.
should
I
be.
don't think horror gets enough recognition. So I agree with it in that sense. I personally, it is my favorite genre of movie, but I can't say it is the best genre of movie. I don't think there is a best genre of movie.
Yeah,
Like there
I've
really
never
can't
actually
be.
thought of it.
There really can't be. That's not a
Especially since
possibility.
like
And it's so hard to make a
genres
specific.
are like
They're
kind of
so all
mix.
over the place.
And yeah, no.
So for there to, I disagree that there's even a best genre. You can have favorites and you can have your preferences, but there
Yeah.
is no singular best. So taking that out, I completely agree that horror. I mean, it's simple for me, but horror is overlooked and shouldn't be.
Maybe because it sucks. No. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Do you agree or disagree? Because in your,
I
I've been
agree with the
introducing you to a lot more
acting
horror.
part of it.
Okay, cool.
I've watched a couple of horror movies now, and I can't say that there's like really, really good acting in there.
Yeah.
Completely disagree with best genre. Like
Mhm.
it's probably the worst one, but
But
I don't
you
think
just
there's
said-
a best one. I
was
think
gonna
there's a
say-
worst
oh,
one.
okay. So horror is the worst, but
there's
there
no
is no
best.
best. Okay.
It's anything but
I'm
horror. is the
glad
best
we're on
one.
the exact same page about this. Okay.
Just
We
don't like it. I'm sorry.
we might get through these. Okay. We have a little bit of time, not a ton. Mad Max Fury Road was a self-indulgent mess. Oh wow, that's more. I didn't know that was gonna warrant that reaction. For those listening, his mouth was
Wait.
wide open.
Wait, I want to make sure that I know what movie we're talking
Yeah,
about.
we're talking Mad Max Fury Road, bro.
Yeah.
George Miller.
Yeah. I know exactly what
Okay.
we're talking about. Fuck you. This is the best Mad Max movie.
What I was gonna say is, I disagree with this comment. I honestly slightly think it applies to Furiosa, though. Can it go? I think that Furiosa was a bit self-indulgent and relied so heavily on Mad Max Fury Road
Completely agree.
to make it be a good movie. Like, this was a fun movie. I had fun in theaters and it was very enjoyable, but I would never be like there's really no comparing Mad Max and Furiosa. Like Fury Road. God, I cannot talk, bro. Furry Road.
Furiosa.
Furry Road, bro.
Furry. I was very disappointed by
Yeah.
Furiosa
Yeah.
when I watched it. Because I was expecting so much from, like, coming from
Right.
Fury Road.
Right.
I don't know exactly what they said. A mess?
A self-indulgent mess, which
No.
I guess I don't
No.
know too much about George Miller or the production behind Mad Max Fury Road, so the
Crazy
self-indulgent part of
production.
it, I don't know that I can speak
No,
to.
I've watched a lot of videos.
I know
about
they
the
did a
production,
bunch
and
practically, didn't they?
most of it.
Yeah.
They shot almost everything in Australia.
Yeah.
And it was, I don't know, it was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I completely disagree with this person.
We're gonna get another one, right? Another.
Are we? I've
I'm
never heard
pretty
it.
sure.
I haven't heard anything from it.
Oh, I
Okay.
thought we were getting another
Maybe we
Mad
are. I
Max,
don't know.
and I really hope so because this is a fun series. How many of the original ones did you watch?
I watched.
I saw the first and second, or did I just watch the first?
I watched the first one, and I don't think I watched all of them, but I watched.
I know I watched the first one. Maybe that's all I watched of it.
Oh, I skipped Mad Max 2. I apparently. Or maybe I didn't. I don't know. I've watched Mad Max and Mad
Interesting.
Max Beyond Thunderdome.
Oh, okay.
And then Fury Road and Furiosa.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't agree with this,
No.
but I maybe could send this person in the direction of Furiosa as my recommendation.
I don't know if this is a hot take or not. I didn't like the original Mad Max movies.
I didn't think they were great.
I don't think they're great
I think there
at
was
all.
a lot of like.
It also it's about something completely different.
Well, I
than
think
Fury
the
Road.
thing is that they couldn't achieve what they can now. So when they made this film in what 70, so it's old. In 79 they couldn't make the scale that they wanted to that
Yeah.
Fury Road is. So it didn't even feel really post-apocalyptic.
Mm-hmm.
Just because they couldn't capture that vibe as
Mm-hmm.
well, but now they kind of
And
Nicholas Holt, bro. That yeah. Get that man. I want that man in every movie. Get him up on the big screen all the time. Okay. We only have a couple more. Let's
do a couple more.
just speed through these. Joker is better than Taxi Driver. you were deeply thinking right now. See, here's the thing. I have not been able to appreciate Taxi Driver enough because I watched it in a film class and I don't remember why I had to leave, but I left before it ended. So I was like enjoying all of it and then I had to leave, and then for some reason I just never came back to it, and then like months and months and months after that first however long I watched of it, I finally watched only the ending after not really remembering too much from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not really it's a very jumbled film in my memory. Like it's not like I can't I could not like talk about scenes and stuff from it and point to specifics from it. But as a whole, I disagree. I mean, I think Taxi Driver, I don't think Joker exists without Taxi Driver. Because that's what they're so often compared to. So that for that reason alone, I feel like I have to just cite Taxi Driver as better. I did like Joker a lot, but Joker relies so heavily on everything about Taxi Driver that like one does not exist without the other. If Taxi Driver had never been made, Joker never came out. Therefore, that leads me to disagree.
I agree with the hot take.
Oh, okay. You think Joker is better?
Yes.
Does that, not in a mean way, does that have to do with the
No.
datedness of it?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say like superhero.
No. The fact that Taxi Driver is definitely much older. It was 70s, and Joker is 2019. So there's it's a lot more modern, and it can do more.
No, I think I might not be super like objective here, but I think I'm going more of like how I felt watching those movies more than the quality of those movies. I really connected with Joker.
Both with Robert De Niro, I just realized.
Yeah. I really connected with Joker. I was really like, I physically felt the movie. With like his body and his like completely.
Oh, that makes sense.
His performance and like, I physically reacted in general. And when a movie achieves that, like on me, I have to put it over the other one because Taxi Driver, I liked it. And maybe a little bit is from the dated part of it, but I don't think it's much of it. Yeah, because I physically reacted to that movie, I have to put it over Taxi Driver.
Okay, so disagree or agree?
Disagree.
Okay. We're gonna rapid fire these next couple. Florence Pugh is overrated and a huge miscast in most of her roles, and it's annoying how she's cameoing her way in every big movie being made right now. Disagree.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I very much disagree with this. I think Florence Pugh is amazing. Have you seen Midsommar? Jesus Christ.
Have you seen Midsommar? Have you seen We Live in Time?
She's really funny in Black Widow. I'm not a huge fan of the movie.
She's the best part of Black Widow.
Don't Worry, Darling.
Don't Worry, Darling. I thought she was great in Don't Worry, Darling. No, I still don't get the hate on that movie. I love that movie.
Yeah, I mean, I
great voice in Puss in Boots too. You haven't watched that, but no, it's good. No, good, all good. No, yeah, I disagree. You're very wrong.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Okay, two more. Parasite is a well-made film, but not a revelatory work a lot of people think it is.
Okay, let's say that again.
Like, it's a
Somewhat
great film, but
filmed
it's
and
not like revolutionary as it's made to seem. I don't know where I stand on that. I feel like I could maybe agree with that. I think
Does it?
it is an amazing, amazing, amazing film. Does it deserve to be called like revolutionary?
That's what I was gonna
I
ask.
don't think
Is it
so.
called revolutionary?
That's what
Like, do
that's what the
people?
hot take is making it seem like.
Well, do people
So I guess I
actually
didn't
call
really
it
know.
revolutionary? I'd never thought of it as like a revolutionary film.
No, me neither.
Great film, great, amazingly
Yeah.
directed, acted, production, all that. I really liked that movie,
Yeah.
but I never thought of it as revolutionary.
Yeah, me neither.
So I guess
So
agree.
I guess we agree. I mean, it is cited so much in like even just like cinematography or storybook ending or yeah. I mean, I guess it is. A lot of people do hold it up as very revolutionary.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with this. I think it's amazing. I don't think
That's
it's
not the word I would use for this
incredibly.
movie.
I wouldn't
Revolutionary, no.
either. Okay, final hot take. La La Land is just okay. Nothing great. And I knew this one was going to piss you off. That's why I saved it. Can I be so for real about something? I hated La La Land the first time I saw it. This was pre-film Tyler. This was pre-film Tyler. And I watched it and I was like, ew, this singing sucks. Ew, what is this? Ew, what's going on? I've never admitted this to anyone. This is the first time anyone has ever heard about this from me. Holy fucking shit, was I wrong?
You were so wrong.
Holy, I can't. I should punch my past self in the face. One of my friends from high school did like a presentation on La La Land, and like I was like, it's not that great. Tyler was wrong.
Tyler was very wrong.
Tyler was then slowly introduced more and more into films and started to appreciate them more as opposed to just movies for entertainment.
What was your argument at the time?
I don't know. I was literally it was like I think freshman year of high school. I was a dumb, unintelligent boy. I still am, but I was a really, really dumb, unintelligent boy. Therefore, I don't count that. I'd love this film. It is an amazing movie. I disagree with this take wholeheartedly.
Yeah, completely disagree with you. I'm so sorry. I think I like every single scene.
Mm-hmm.
I love all the songs.
Damien Chazelle's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
It is thundering out.
Crazy.
We're gonna die.
Oh,
Is it 5?
Maybe La La Land is bad.
Did your phone say 5 degrees outside? Or was that 5?
5 Celsius.
Okay. I was like, damn.
So like, I don't know,
yeah.
40 for you.
Yeah.
No, it's just like great acting, great music, great color, great color theory.
Oh my
like,
gosh. Yeah. That cinematographer, or maybe it's not that one. Is it this one? I think this cinematographer, is his name Linus? He is going to be doing the next Dune movie.
Ooh.
And I'm almost positive it's the same guy from, or no, wait, am I thinking of this correctly? He's the same dude that did I think I am. Linus something? Let me look into this cuz
I don't know.
Yes, Linus Sandgren. La La Land.
Don't Look Up.
And Don't Look Up and Saltburn and Babylon and First Man. He's doing the next Dune movie.
I can see that. And
he knows his color theory, dude.
Yeah.
Like that's going to be exciting.
Yeah, no, like storytelling through color, and this comes from a colorblind person.
Mm-hmm.
I think is one of the most genius things ever done in film. It's so subtle,
and Damien Chazelle always
most of the time I miss it. I completely miss it. Yeah. It only takes me a YouTube video to find out that there's actually like color stuff happening.
Yeah.
But crazy.
Yeah. So definitely disagree with that hot take.
Definitely disagree.
Well, I gotta be honest. I think we're gonna absolutely get destroyed in a storm here. So we should probably wrap up.
Yeah, we should.
The house is shaking when it thunders, so I'm a little concerned about that. But we made it through the hot takes. That is shocking.
We did.
I was expecting to tangent way more intensely than we did, and we kept it under 2 hours. Look at us go. This was so successful.
This was so much fun. I like this one.
There will be a part 2 of hot takes coming at some point.
Yeah,
this is a good one.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll try the drafts thing, the movie drafts thing.
Okay.
That sounds fun too. But maybe Alex won't be here at some point. But
yeah,
I would say
it's not my podcast Technically, it
It's
isn't.
at this point, dude. This is both of ours, but whatever. I don't have anything else. That was super fun.
Yeah.
Follow me at the socials at tyleredward.films and tyler-edward.com for my website. Thank you so much for listening to the Hard Cut Podcast.